Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. Welcome to Puvanur RVIR Laya Academy of Music and Mathematics. We are in special topics, placements in different Thalam. We have completed Adi Thalam, Rupaka Thalam, Tisra Jadi Tripata Thalam, Ganda Jadi Tripata Thalam. Today I am going to handle Misra Jadi Jampa Thalam 10-beat cycle. Before I enter into the class, I will start this class with a Tirukkural. மனத்தான் ஆம் மாந்தர்க்கு உணர்ச்சி இனத்தான் ஆம் என்னான் எனப்படும் சொல். What is the meaning of it? மக்களுக்கு இயற்கை அறிவு மனதால் உண்டாகும். அவன் இத்தன்மையன் என்று உலகினரால் அறியப்படும் சொல் அவன் சேர்ந்த இனத்தால் ஏற்படும். The natural intelligence of a person is determined by the mind. It leads by the mind. But for the world, they associate a person depending on the type of place he is coming from. So that's how the connection happens for the world to recognize the person's characteristics, his behavior, everything. Thiruluvar has understood it many years as a forethought, and we need to dwell about it quite a bit of this. I'll start this class on the special aspects. Last class we learned about the approach of how to play for Gandajadi Tripata Thalam different placements. Today we are going to learn the different placements in Gandajadi Ekathalam as well Misra Jadi Jampathalam. I will cover both because it's a multiple of 5. Gandajadi Ekathalam Rettakalai is 10 beats. Misra Jadi Jampathalam by itself is 10 beats, and in Rettakalai it becomes 20 beats. So whatever you play for this, you can play for that. So now Misra Jadi Jampathalam being a superset of Gandajadi Ekathalam, these both are applicable. And actually, the subset is the Ganda Chapathalam, which is 2.5 beats. So you can use the same ideas there, but you don't have those much placements because the 2.5 beats itself is a small one. So you will not be able to demonstrate many placements there. So typically, the special placements are effective in Red Kalai or anything more than 2 Kalais. Or like for example, it can be a 4 Kalai Pallavi or any complex thalas where people handle. So it's easier to go about and also express those forms. As I told you, it's a collaborative study. No, I just want to table that fact. It's a collaborative way you have to learn. It's a relational way you have to learn. When you are getting a bigger number, the scope is wider for you. So when you look at Misra Jadi Jampathalam Rendikalai, it's 20 beats. So what you can think about is anything starting from 18 beats or 16 beats, you can formulate the Tirmanams. For example, after 4 fingers in Misra Jambai, you can play all 16 beat Tirmanams. I'll give you samples. You can approach that. 1, 2, 3, 4, down. Tataka dinna tundaki tataka dinna tundaka down down. Tataka dinna tundaki tataka dinna tundaka down down. Tataka dinna tundaki tataka dinna tundaka down. Tataka jun taka vitaka jun. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tit tangada taka darikada taka tanga din tatam. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tit tangada taka darikada taka tanga din tatam. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tit tangada taka darikada taka tanga din tatam. Tataka jun taka vitaka jun. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka down. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka down. Tit tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka tangada taka darikada taka down. So any of these Tirmanams like 16, you have many things you can approach. all these things. Anything as 5 units of a phrase, 5 units, 5 units, 5 units is 15 beats. In between, if you give half of a beat, it's a 16 beat. So tadik kitatum, tadik kitatum, tadik kitatata, tadik kitatum, tadik kitatum, tadik kitatata, takaratikadungadum, takaratikadungadum, tarikatikadungadum ta. So this is the base for under this format, whatever the concepts you're going to play, you can all play for 16 beats, again for 14 beats, again for 12 beats. For 12 beats, how much? You have to out of 20, you have to reduce 8. Taka jun, taka be taka jun, ta. Taka jun, taka jun, so you can play all those frills. You should understand what all you can approach for Misra Jadi Champathalam. So these are all the basic ruling games, grounding games for you. Starting from 4 beats, starting from 5 beat, 6 beats, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14 and 16. The larger the number, the larger the scope for you. So for all these scopes, you can keep workshops, and for all these beats, you can have your own set of formulated frills. For all the frills, you can express it and then play it to that place. For first, this is summum. Summum to summum, you can establish yourself. Then is your half beat, then 1 beat and 1.5 beat away. You can try all the exercises. Today, again, I'm going to try give you a few samples of. I will also give you homework. I will demonstrate a few, and I'll also give you homework of how to go about it. Now, let's take a simple korvai in Ganda Chapathalam, and then we will see how we can place for Arayadam and Mukharadam. Taditta, tadikita taditta, tadikita tada, tadikita 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 tada, tadikita 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 tada, tadikita 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 tada. This is a korvai. I want you to try this now that I've trained you and explained you for Adi Thalam, Rupaka Thalam, Tisra Jadi Tripata Thalam, Ganda Jadi Tripata Thalam. The same korvai. Next class I'm going to have a review how you can tell this korvai in Kaladam, Arayadam and Mukharadam without any stuck in between. You should not get obstruction in between, and you should be able to play, express free flowing way and also play it. That's your homework. I will also give 2-3 other korvais which we can think about, and it's a more of a revision, and I want you to try all these in for the placements. That's one korvai. Another korvai. I want you to try all these korvais in Kaladam, in Arayadam and Mukharadam, which is half beat, 1 beat, 1.5 beat. If you do it, it will give you, it's a good exercise because first of all, this Thalam is complicated. Second thing is you have to understand the korvai. Korvai is also different, varied structures is there. 4 different korvais, 4 different structures. Then is the placement. So you have to understand all these things. Then I have told you the frills, whatever at all, because it's a larger number, 10 is a global number, where 9 to 1 is underneath that. Under that umbrella, you can try all the frills and moras and thirmanams and whatever the possible ways you can do about it that opens out your creativity. I want you to do all these things. So one of the big exercises which typically I wanted to conclude is the Mora Korvai. Whatever you play doesn't really matter, even if you play summum or if you don't play for the plays in between is okay. But end of the day, when you're concluding your solo, when you want to take and then showcase, it's important this Mora Korvai should be for the place. Fundamentally, whatever you play, even if you play some Taddin Dinna or whatever, if you don't play any Korwai, keep playing whatever you know a little bit. Towards the end, when you're playing the Farans, you have to ensure that your Mora Korwai is on dot. So let's establish that how we can play a perfect Mora Korwai for the place. I will demonstrate it first by taking it, by explaining you in Samam to Samam, and then we will also tell it for Mukaladam, and you should try for Kaladam and Narayanam. This is important because every time you cannot do away with this. Rest of the things you can do away with it because you don't have to play. You can play some Sarva people anyway shake their head because the Nadam of Mridangam is going to take them forward. But at the end of the day, but you want to be technically right, this is the place which is important, which gives you the recognition and credits of your knowledge, and it gets acknowledged there. So the Mora goes like this. Tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tung, kita tari kita kita tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tong kita dinta tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tung, kita tari kita kita tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tong kita dinta tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tung, kita tari kita kita tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tong tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tong tung, tadi kita tunta du, tari kita kita tong kita dinta tung, tong kita dinta tadi. Taka dinna tom, tati taka dinna tom, taka dinna tom, tadi kita 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 tom, tadi taka dinna tom, tati taka dinna tom, taka dinna tom, tati taka 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 tom, taka tom, tati taka tom, tati taka tom, tadi taka dinna tom, de taka dinna tom, taka dinna tom, kita taka dari kita 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 tom. So that is the vanilla of telling a Korwai in Misra Jati Champata. Now the complexity comes to the place because that's important to learn. Tadi kita tunta dum, tadi kita tung, tadi kita tunta kita tunta dum, tadi kita tong kita tunta dum, tadi kita tunta dum, tadi kita tung, tadi kita tunta kita tunta dum, tadi kita tong kita tunta dum, tadi kita tunta dum, tadi kita tung, tadi kita tunta kita tunta dum, tadi kita tong dum, tadi kita tunta dum, tadi kita tong dum, tadi kita tunta dum, tadi kita tong kita dum, tong kita tadi taka dinna tom, tadi taka dinna tom, taka dinna tom, tadi kita to, 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 ta dum, tanta gade, tanta gade, tanta gade, tanta gade, tanta ta. So this is the clarity I want you to get when you're playing for the Mukhanam placement, because it gets shifted and you should know the balance of how this Tadigitatum gets shifted and it falls in the place of the Enam. So that's how you should get, because that's a very key place where you'll get applauded and recognized for your vidvat and your clarity and understanding of the place, and recognition will be there. So this is important. That's why and each of the thala, whenever I demonstrate for Mora Korwe. because that's one piece which cannot do away with. You have to play. You cannot say you cannot stop there. I don't know Mora Korwe and can stop there, because that's important. I want you to try the same thing for, there are multiple places there. So one is half beat and you have one quarter, one fourth beat as well. You might have to follow, practice that. There might be special places like Dakshinamurti and Shankaravarnam. Sri, it comes in Aditya, it comes from the back. So you have to play the Mora and that point and also show the Korwe to that point. So you need to know all those things. So whatever the place, you're starting from there, you have to start the Korwe from Mora, and then there you have to end the Korwe. Or you can formulate by starting at some point and getting to that place. That's also mathematics. No, you can actually do your math the way you want it, and then you can get to that place in multiple forms. So gain this knowledge. Hope you have got the idea, because all these classes towards in level 5 are advanced and more of techniques and the strategy you have to use, because there's a lot of things. I've given you you have to do research and analysis, and it'll take some time for you to digest all these ideas. I want you to learn in this way, so you become holistic, and 360 degrees you will grow as a true Vidwan. See you in the next class with the perspective of one of the rare thalas. Again, we will see how we can do it collaboratively. Misra Jadi Tripura Thalam, 11 beat cycle, few ideas galore. We will see how it goes. Let me conclude this class with the Tirukkural. Manathu uladu pol kaatti oruvarkku enathu uladu agum arivu. அறிவு ஒருவனது மனத்தில் உள்ளது போல காட்டினாலும் அவன் சேர்ந்த இனத்தை ஒட்டியதாகவே உண்டாகும். Even intelligence, whatever he has acquired, does reflect one's personality. End of the day, the world recognizes from where he has come from, and this intelligence is actually compared with from the place of origin rather than his own intelligence. That's what Thirukural compares in this Tirukkural, which is a very thought-provoking Tirukkural. With this good thought, I'm concluding this class. I will get into the next class with the approach of special placements, and one of the rare thalas, which is Misra Jadi Tripura Thalam 11 beat cycle, we will handle at length. As a part of completion, as a part of subjective coverage, I am taking these rare thalas as well, so that you will get to know, if you get exposed to difficult complex thalas, how you need to really approach. We will give some ideas, we will deal with some concepts, so that you are aware of any surprises or challenges as you go along this musical journey. Pavanur RV signing off. I'll see you in the next class.